Bodywork. Hey. Ew. I don't do body work, but I occasionally have to undo other people's. This had none of its shape. His body line was gone. Somebody really liked Bondo working on this thing. And, you know, this is incredible. I mean, absolutely incredible how well done this is. I mean, honestly, I should probably just paint over it. Yep. It's perfect. Whew. Oh boy. It was a two-piece panel. That's nice. Good. Great. The fuck is this? Man, this is good. This is really good. Impressive. I'm impressed. Yep. Man, everything on this truck was just some kind of nitpicky little detail to fill time between bodywork and sanding and Bondo and grinding and rain, and just it never worked out to film a good video. But, you know, here's some clips of me doing a rattle can remodel on my $240 Facebook Marketplace wheels. You know, just a little bit of time and energy, and they ended up looking pretty good. They fit the truck great, and I have, you know, really little money into them. First time having all four wheels on the truck. Guess I forgot how much you actually have to fender work the rears to get them things to fit. But boy, am I excited to see it. All right. Well, guess since we finally have all four wheels on the truck, we'll get this bedside rolled out. Probably should have done it at the same time that I did the other one, because that was before I lowered the truck more. So now it's harder to go less aggressive because this wheel is poked out so far. Normally I would do this with a hammer and bring it out slowly, but that's how I did the other side, and I'm trying to get the same effect. So right now I'm just working my way over the trusty jack handle. Getting the initial fold on that inner lip before I start trying to get it to pull. Slow and steady. Don't try to get a whole lot all at one time. And just bring it in out nice and even. Bunch of different passes. No creases. Walking back and forth, comparing each side so I can try to get them as similar as possible. Started to get the pull up here, but I need to bring it lower to match the other side. Also, that front corner seems to be lower than this front, so I'm going to jack that up to bring this side down so I can have a better representation of where the fitment should be.
Jacked her up back here so I could A, fix the dent that's back here that I was making worse by trying to pull, as well as be able to get up in here at a different angle and hit up here above this body line, so that I wasn't just flaring this out flat. I wanted to bring the whole quarter out, and that way I need to hit up here, kind of bring this body line down, and that way I'll get a nice clean pull that's up higher, so that it doesn't just clear the tire at ride height, but also when it suspension articulates, and much more importantly, when the whole back comes down evenly. That's when you get a lot of rub on a solid axle. Looks like I still need to work on the backside.
The name of the game here, slow and steady, check your work as you go, and just get it out far enough. We know we're going to have to come back with a hammer and work the radius up higher. With solid axles, you just can't get the lip to clear because on suspension compression, you don't get camber. So the arch does have to be pulled up higher into the quarter.
Looks like we might have it.
Yep. Exhaust is a little low. Drives pretty good though. Really hot. I just panic braked, and I was extremely excited that it stopped. Geez, I feel like I really need a hat. Looking a bit of a mess. And I lost my hat yesterday. And my other hat the other day. I am hatless, and it is terrible. So, something else that's terrible is this rear fender gap. I left the 3-inch blocks in, and I modified the leaf pack. I kept the long, crazy thick overload spring, thinking that would get me enough. Probably 3 inches of drop out of the leaf springs, plus 3 inches, maybe 2.5 out of the block, or out of the leaf springs, and 3 inch out of the block, 5-inch total. Just not enough. Check out this unit though, boy. Sheesh. Woo. Well, I had intended on filming the process of pulling these things out of there, but it's too damn hot and my phone keeps overheating. So I will say this Speedway Motors 3.5 is a lot beefier. Even feels like a better material, but just added thickness everywhere. Really like these. Not all that much different in price, and these days, since you can't get that many of them locally, it's probably gonna end up being these Speedways that I use from now on. So God, I hate a block that big, but whatever, that's where we're at. Well, the weather stopped cooperating, but I've been working on the fenders, get her to clear at her lower height. So we're good all the way to frame rail on travel, no rub.
Still a nice tight gap though. I'm pleased. All of this rust was under the paint that I'm sanding off, which is probably why this thing had that oranging poking through all the old paint. Someone probably took this thing to bare metal one time and then didn't prime it worth a shit. So that's fun. Did all my fender work here. Pretty happy with it. Need some more hammer and dolly. Probably not going to do that. But I got lucky enough to find all this active rust underneath the paint that was already on the truck. And I already hate Bodywork. Definitely don't feel like doing all this. But I also don't want the rust to come through my new paint like it already was on the old paint. And so I'm going to do as much of this as I can stand to do. Probably won't be much, but I do want to get at least this down to a lot closer to nice metal before putting primer back over it. Right tool for the job? Nope. Right now tool for the job? Absolutely. I do conveniently live in Atlanta, where the local time is currently 100% humidity. So this should flash rust right back. It sucks because I'm going to end up having to go to work here in a little bit, which means I have to prime this so it doesn't rust worse. And I'm going to end up having to come back, sand my own primer off, and keep going, which, boy, do I hate Bodywork. Great. We ain't got no doors. Dang it. Bought these helper spring assisted shocks for the front of the Datsun. Hopefully make it a little stiffer. These springs don't have a whole lot of oomph to them, but I'm hoping that'll help it be a little stiffer. The front of the Datsun's really soft, and for the ride height it's at, I don't think it's going to work. Without the springs on, these shocks are fairly well damped. They're very close to the stock length shocks, so assuming I have room next to the control arms to get this in there, it should help. It won't hurt. So they are for a Chevy, so they have these tabs. These would probably mount straight up to the front of an older Toyota, but I want to get these tabs out so I can go to a empty hole like that and be able to mount them on the control arm easier. Well, on the tension rod is the way I have them mounted right now. So yeah, I'm just gonna get those out of there. Some shocks, these lower mount bars, they'll actually come right out of the lower bushing with not a whole lot of sweat. Others, man, I've really destroyed this lower bushing trying to get them free. These, however, cooperated, so that's cool. Should be good to go. Christ almighty, can I just tell you, today sucked at work. So I thought it was just destined to suck all day. Decided to go buy some wheels I'd been keeping my eye on Marketplace. $100 for a full set of 4 of them. They're teensy weensy little boys, but they're neat. They're right up my alley. I'm thinking they're an old set of American Racings. That's fine. Love that shit. Get there. These little bad boys, well, they're Inky Japan. That's a real woo shit kicker. All right. Homie is super cool. He's an old guy. He's retiring to Florida soon. He just comes out with some steel wool and some soapy water. He shows me how he's been cleaning them. It's fine, bro. They're $100. Just give them to me. Let's put them in the truck. I got places to be. He lives real close to Summit Racing. Traffic wasn't even bad. What? So I come down to Summit Racing. They still got their scratch indents out. That's cool. Well, they're trying to get rid of everything that's on the shelf. So they're already price marked down a half off of what they were. And then half off of that, I got these Rancho Cucamongas RS 5000s, right? So demo price $25, down from $55. Wow, that's cool anyway. 50 bucks for a pair? Hell no, brother. I get to the register, that shit cost me, oh my God, you can't even see it. $27 for 2 Rancho Cucamonga big ass badass shocker boys. What? I need to buy a lotto ticket. We on a roll. Shoo! Whew. We got to get this Datsun done. We got to make some headway today. First step, clean up this mess, put some tools away. Gonna pop off the passenger door and try to finish this professional paint job today. I just have the B-pillar on the passenger side, the rocker, and the passenger door. Everything else is painted. A lot of it is cut and buffed. It is not good, but hey, it's good enough-ish. So, yeah, hopefully we can have a good day. It looks beautiful out, so let's try to make some headway. So, with the old setup, after I clearanced the frame in here enough for the control arm to come up high enough to get as low as I wanted it to be, the front shock was no longer short enough to sit on top of the control arm. And it's one of the shorter shocks on the market. So I went down here, mounted it on the tension rod. Should travel pretty much the same like action ratio, and really shouldn't weigh this bushing any extra. It is at a little bit more of an angle, but this was the setup I came up with. I did find that it's still too soft for it to be as low as I want it to be. So to increase the spring rates, I found these on the Amazons. They're for like a Blazer or a whole bunch of mostly GM domestics, as a front shock with a helper spring. So same mounting, they're like some negligible amount different length, maybe 3/4 of an inch longer, which in this situation they should be fine. I don't think I'll be bottoming them out. Haven't had it on the ground yet. Still got to do the other side, and see what it does to the spring rate and the damping. So hopefully this helper spring will help me out and get what I was intending out of it. Oh wow, I actually raised it up quite a bit. Not a lot of rebound damping, but holy cow, that lifted it a bunch. I'm gonna have to lower it again. Huh. Well, theoretically they work. Maybe stiffer shocks would have been a better deal. Originally, my plan was to run the front shocks as rears. Really not sure they're going to be long enough. Guess we'll find out nowish. Seems I found my ants. Conveniently. Where I'm trying to work. Ain't it grand? Guess we'll get the broom. Something that happens a lot of times. These, really any aerosol cans, but especially the cheap ones. You, kind of lose propellant. mercy, I'm making a mess. But, take your air nozzle, put it in the hole there, squeeze the trigger here, squeeze the trigger here. You can blow compressed air from your compressor in there. Probably, be careful. I don't think these cans are made to take more than 10, 15 PSI. So, my compressor's at 90 right now. Probably making a bomb. So, go easy on it. Hardware is pretty crusty under here. So, needed some lubes. Hopefully, be able to break those loose. Man, that sprays a whole lot better. Was dealing with like a trickle. Now it's actually got propellant. Neat. All right. Well, got them out. They say Nissan. I honestly believe that these are original to the truck based on how hard they were to get out. It's probably likely. Each one also left one half of the bushing up on the top post, so I gotta get those out. It's a really dumb design having the pin come through out of the bottom. They're both severely bent. This one was mangled to the point I had to cut it out. They did learn after the 720 and went eye to eye instead of this style. Definitely works a lot better. All right, let's get those bushings out and try these other shocks for length. So what I discovered is these lower bushings for the old front shocks. Even though I had them stretched onto those tension rods up there, they are still too small to go over the rear post back here. So I am extracting these factory ones and running those for the larger opening. So we'll get those both hung up to the top, jack the axle up, see if it reaches these things. If not, just wasted a bunch of your time and got hot and sweaty and ant bites for no reason. Let's hope for a win. So here's my findings. These little blue boys, they are way too short. Had this wheel jacked up to the point where the rim was tucking in the fender, and they were still too short. So I don't want to run them unless I'm keeping this truck forever. But I do have these A86 rear coilover shocks. Pretty nice units, adjustable. They're like exactly the same length as the stock rears. So for now they'll do. But I do think I'll probably just get some stock rears off the Rock Auto to get this thing running. Don't want to waste my good stuff on some crummy Datsun. Also just found this guy hanging out over here where I'm trying to do my work. Fun. All right, well, that worked. I know. I'm normally more of a live and let live kind of type, but the little girls with the hourglass hips, they're not so nice. Also, my dog is nursing what appears to be a spider bite on his nose currently. So, yeah. The alignment is extremely bad. Probably toe out. It's chasing the road a lot. But it's driving all right. These slicks throw up so much shit.